Hey book fans and book nerds of the world, it's Elias and welcome back to another video on the channel. In today's video, I am going to be reviewing the newest book in the best-selling Goosebumps House of Shiver series, and this is called One Night at Camp Bigfoot. So this is actually a fairly new installment in the House of Shiver series. This was released on March 3rd, which was exactly 2 weeks from today, and I just finished reading it and I have lots to talk about. So One Night at Camp Bigfoot, if you guys cannot tell from the cover already, this is a camp Goosebump book. And if you guys don't know already, the last camp book that R.L. Stine wrote was 14 years ago, which was Goosebumps Creature Teacher The Final Exam. So in the course of 14 years, we have not gotten a Goosebump camp book in that long. So when I found out that this book was going to be coming out, I was very stoked because I was like, yay, we're finally getting another Goosebump book that is set in the wilderness and that evolves around the creepy camp. To be honest with you guys, this book was not my favorite. I wanted to love it. I wanted to enjoy it. I had so much high hopes, but I think I raised the bar a little bit too high, and that's why my expectations weren't as good. I feel like this book, it had the potential, it had the ability to be something great. I mean, a book about Bigfoot, a book that takes place in the middle of nowhere, it makes a very good plot. I just think that if R.L. Stine maybe wrote this book 30 years ago when he was in his prime, I think it would make a really great story. But yeah, the execution of this was also weird. The pacing was not linear. I feel like the beginning was very slow, and then the middle was kind of in the middle, and then the ending was just rushed. So there wasn't like one normal steady pace of a Goosebump book. It was just all over the place. There was speed bumps, ups and downs, twists, some stuff that wasn't resolved in the ending. It was just kind of like a chaotic book that I felt like was put together like in maybe a month's time, which isn't really usual for R.L. Stine. Usually he tells great stories and he has good plot twists, but this one was a little bit strange. So now I'm going to tell you about the plot of the book. So the book follows two siblings, and their names are Harper and DJ. And at the beginning of the book, they are going to a summer camp called Camp Woo Woo. Yeah, that's a really dumb camp name. But Camp Woo Woo is this camp that they're planning to spend the summer. They're gonna, go fishing. They're gonna climb mountains, and they're just gonna have fun like a normal camp would have. But all of a sudden, they drive there and they find out that the camp is closed. And the instructor who is running the camp tells them that, we're not going to have this camp, but there is another camp down the road, which is called Camp Bigfoot. And at first, the parents of Harper and DJ are like, I don't know, maybe we should just go home. I don't know if Harper and DJ want to even go to this Camp Bigfoot. I mean, it sounds creepy. It sounds scary. Right when they're about to turn back to head home, Harper and DJ are able to convince their parents that they want to go to Camp Bigfoot because, DJ, he actually is a very talented artist, and he actually likes, learning about Greek myths and beasts, and he loves, like, horror lore. So he actually is very fond of going to this camp. Plus, when he hears the word Bigfoot, he thinks, maybe we're going to see Bigfoot. This sounds like a very cool way to spend our summer. So the parents, they agree. And they arrive at Camp Bigfoot, and right off the bat, Camp Bigfoot is a little bit strange. They almost get attacked by bears, which was a little bit stupid. And then they meet this camp instructor, and his name is Uncle Squats, named after Sasquatch. And he basically leads, DJ and Harper into separate cabins. Right away, Harper meets this weird girl who admits that she's a werewolf, and everyone in her dorm just kind of acts weird, like there's some kind of like hiding a secret identity, like they're monsters or something. We don't really see much of DJ at all. He is this in his other cabin. Harper and DJ see each other when they're like swimming in the lake during free time, but other than that, the two are very separate. And then some more stuff happens until we get to the climax of the book, when it's nightfall and everyone does this annual tradition where they try to search for Bigfoot. They try finding his footprints and they try to find him, because it's a tradition at the camp. It wouldn't be called Camp Bigfoot without trying to find Bigfoot, right? And without spoiling, I forgot to mention that the head director of this camp, Uncle Squats, dresses up as Bigfoot. He pretends to scare people with this Bigfoot costume. So at the end of the book, when they eventually find the Bigfoot, they don't know if Bigfoot is actually Uncle Squats or if it's the real Bigfoot. And then at the end, some more stuff happens with Bigfoot. There's an epic fight that evolves. And then the ending, which I'm not going to spoil. But that's pretty much the premise. There wasn't a lot. The book was very short. It was only 150 pages. And the majority of the book was literally like setting up for this one night at Camp Bigfoot. But like I said, it was very disappointing. I feel like we didn't get enough, time with the characters at the camp. I could have, done more with maybe some scenes of roasting marshmallows and going for hikes. Maybe some scenes of Uncle Squats dressing up as Bigfoot, or maybe seeing some more character development. Everything was just so jam-packed in this very short novel. One of my favorite Goosebumps camp books is One Night at Horror Jelly Jam, and I feel like what makes this one better than Camp Bigfoot is that this one does a good mix of what a summer camp should be, when this one is just like the bare minimum, if you guys know what I mean. Another thing, Bigfoot, is he in the book or not? I'm not going to say that this title or that this cover is clickbait, but it is definitely not a lot about Bigfoot than you would expect. If you are a die-hard Bigfoot fan and you want to buy this book, I would not say to fully expect a full Bigfoot story. Yes, there's lots of mentions of Bigfoot, like the entire camping ground. There's statues of Bigfoot. There's mentions of him. But it isn't like your typical Bigfoot encyclopedia. Like, don't expect, epic scenes of him showing up or, some myths about him, his origin. It's basically the bare, bones of Bigfoot, and that's it. Which is a little bit sad because I was expecting a big Bigfoot book. I thought it would be all about Bigfoot, but really, it was not. I'm trying to think what else. I feel like this book, it also did not really do much for me. When I finished reading, I kind of stood there, and I looked at the wall, and I was like, okay, did I really just read that? There wasn't any cliffhanger at the end. Most of R.L. Stine's books, they always have, very good cliffhangers and, endings, which he's always iconic for. But in this one, there was no cliffhanger. It was just, spoilers, it was just basically Harper and DJ coming home and saying, we loved Camp Bigfoot, we want to stay again next year. And that was it. There was no, plot twist where, Uncle Squats was the real Bigfoot, or there wasn't a plot twist where Harper and DJ get bitten by Bigfoot and they become hairy creatures. There wasn't any lore about the camp. We didn't get enough lore about, who these characters in the cabins were, if they were monsters or not. We didn't get enough information about the origin of the camp. We didn't get enough information about really anything introduced in this book. And I feel like maybe if this book was longer and if R.L. Stine, focused more on the camp, we would have had a great book. Surprisingly, I watched lots of reviews for One Night at Camp Bigfoot, and many people loved this book. I've been seeing 5-star Amazon reviews, people saying that this is the first Goosebumps book in a while where it feels like the 90s again. I could see where, people are coming from. I could see that, this does feel like very 90s, compared to some of the modern Goosebumps books. It really does feel like you're reading a original Goosebumps book, about kids going to a camp and witnessing the supernatural. I could agree with that. But other than that, I don't really think that it was like a fantastic book. All of the books so far in the House of Silver series have either been a hit or miss, and I feel like it hasn't really been that good. This one kind of sucked from August. This one wasn't that good. This one I don't even think I finished, and then this one was just okay. So this installment definitely was, I gotta admit, a little bit better than the other books in the series, but it wasn't definitely worth the hype. It wasn't really worth the pre-order or any of that. I wanted this book to be so good. I wanted it to be good. I had so much expectations. And even now, when I'm done reading it, I just kind of feel sad that R.L. Stine couldn't reach the potential of this, because he had the opportunity to write a book about Bigfoot, and he screwed it up. If you guys don't know already, there is not many Goosebumps books that talk about Bigfoot or mythical creatures like the Loch Ness Monster. Either that's because of copyright issues or because of publisher deals, I don't really know. But every single Goosebumps book has been about a original creature. It's been about, Slappy. It's been about a scarecrow. It's been about a ghost, very common things. But this one was actually about Bigfoot, like one of the most popular creatures in the fantasy world. And I feel like R.L. Stine just couldn't meet the fandom of Bigfoot, including myself. Okay, I feel like I keep talking about the negatives. I am going to talk about some positives before we wrap up. What I did enjoy about this book was that it was a fun, quick read. I gotta admit that. This book, it did not sit in myself long. Each chapter, despite its flaws, was engaging, and I literally read half of this in one sitting. So I gotta admit that it was a page turner. It kept me engaged, and I wanted to keep seeing what would happen next. Even though the ending wasn't that good, I was immersed in the experience of seeing where it would lead. Cover art's amazing as well. I love this symbolic picture of Bigfoot holding a marshmallow and the silhouette in the background. I wish this scene actually happened in the book, and I wished that the plot line of the book also happened. But that's the one thing I love about this. I also loved, I guess, R.L. Stine's descriptions of the camp. I feel like he described, the weather nicely. He described, like the campgrounds nicely. He could have used it more. He could have done more scenes in it. But I think it was overall good. I also liked the humor in this story. It got a little bit childish at times and a little bit obnoxious. Joking about, like crayons and farts and stuff. But there was a few times where I did suckle. I also like the concept of the book, like I said. I like the idea of kids going to a camp that isn't just about water slides, or that isn't just your normal, stay away for 2 weeks. I like the idea that there actually is a camp in the world that is about Bigfoot and where people are immersed in this fantasy. Other than that, though, I think that was basically the only things I liked about the book. So if I was giving it a ranking on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give this a 5. Definitely a 5. Nothing higher, nothing lower. The next Goosebumps book coming out isn't until August. R.L. Stine back in the day used to be a very fast author. He was publishing like literally 2 books a month. Even 10 years ago when the Horrorland series was coming out, he was writing like literally a book every month. And now, since he's getting older, he is taking a little bit slower, and we're only getting about 2 or 3 Goosebumps books a year. So the one that comes out August, which is only about 6 months away, is What We Do at Night. And this one, it looks like it's going to be about this new kid that moves to a new neighborhood, and he finds out that his friends at nighttime, I guess, are like hawks, or that they have a secret identity. So, hoping that this one's good, better than this one. Hoping that R.L. Stine could really pick up the pace with this series. We're already 6 books in, and I hope that he could just make it better. But I gotta admit, despite this series' flaws, and despite this book not being what I hoped for, I really appreciate that R.L. Stine, at almost 100 years old, is still writing Goosebumps books. This man is killing it. I love that, you know, even all these years later, he is still scaring kids across the world, and that he is continuing his original series that started almost 40 years ago. So kudos to you, R.L. Stine, for continuing to, you know, scare different generations. I know he isn't the same writer that he used to be. I know, you know, his style has declined a bit, but I'm really grateful that, as a fan, I'm still able to read new Goosebumps books every year, because I don't know how long left he has. I don't know, you know, when the series is going to be over and when it's going to reach its contract, but I'm very happy that I have the opportunity to keep reading Goosebumps books every single year, and that he's able to produce new ideas. But yeah, guys, that's my review on One Night at Camp Bigfoot. I would give it a try, because I think everyone else really loves it. Maybe it's just me. But if you like Goosebumps, then go ahead, pick it up, and tell me your thoughts in the comments. But yeah, that's it for my review, guys. I'll try to post some more Goosebumps reviews. I just got in the mail some new Goosebumps books. I actually got the Give Yourself books, which I'll probably do some reviews on, as well as some more books in the original series. So I'll try to post some more reviews of those as well. But yeah, guys, that's my review. One Night at Camp Bigfoot. Tell me if you believe Bigfoot is real or not. In my opinion, I believe that Bigfoot is not real. But in this book, you'll have to find out if he actually is real or not. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on another book review soon. Peace out, my friends.